Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for this short video. I'm at Buchanan Airfield in Concord, California, a field that I have a lot of history with. The county manages this under grants from the Federal Aviation Administration and other revenue sources. When I was a county supervisor, this was in my district, now in Supervisor Ken Carlson's district, and he does a great job on multiple levels, including working with the administration here. But I wanted to come here just to talk about the shutdown and its impact on aviation. I've spent a lot of time in aviation over my career. I'm very proud of the fact that I was very active in reauthorization of the Federal Aviation Administration, including the Safe Landings Act that I worked very hard on after the near miss 11 years ago at Air Canada flight at SFO. So I've learned so much about aviation, whether it's general aviation at an airport like this that also has commercial here, and big airports. I fly out of SFO every week and into Washington and back every week. So very familiar. But this shutdown has huge impacts to our system. An aviation system that historically has been the best in the world, but has had enormous strains in the last 20 years as we haven't funded the FAA sufficiently enough as capacity grew, particularly post-COVID. So that's why I'm so concerned about the consequences of this shutdown created by President Trump and the majority in the Senate and the House. They need Senate votes to get their bills passed. In legislative bodies, you have to be able to count your votes. So they're trying to cram a completely unacceptable bill down our throats after they just did one, cutting health care to people. But in this instance, it's the impact to your safety and the employees who work so hard for the FAA and air traffic controllers who I've spent hours with and have such respect for them in the work they do. They're all already understaffed. We've got 13,000 air traffic controllers in this country, but we're 3,000 short, and we're trying to hire more. And in high-cost areas like San Francisco, it's really hard to get young people to go through it and then retaining them. These are stressful jobs in the best of times. They're really stressful times when we're so understaffed, and then they're ridiculously stressful right now. These air traffic controllers are going to work because they're defined as essential, but they're not getting paid. So how do you motivate a workforce who are already stretched thin, have amazing responsibilities, and then you ask them to come in and work for free? Tell me, as somebody who's managed people in the private sector and the public sector, how do you expect them to work up to their optimum abilities, which they do in spite of great stress? And more importantly than that, I'm concerned about the safety. Quite frankly, I don't want to scare people, but I'm concerned as someone who flies regularly and knows this industry very well, probably about as well as any layperson. They're already stressed. Pilots are stressed. Air traffic controllers are stressed. Mechanics are stressed. The security people are stressed. TSA agents are deemed essential, but they have to go to work without pay. So this is completely unacceptable. We need to work collectively to make sure these people are paid right now while they come to work every day and work so tirelessly to protect your safety in a way that you never see until there's a tragedy. So every day that they're in this situation is a day tempting fate and having a tragedy where people will lose their lives because of the sloppiness of this administration and the majority in both houses. Let's put them back to work. Let's have a conversation. Let's compromise. In particular, in this instance, let's protect the public. Don't be so callous as to just disregard these employees who come out every day to work to protect the American public under difficult circumstances, and now you've made it very dangerous. Continue to have confidence in our system, but you should be aware that this system is stretched, and you're going to experience delays, and you should, if all possible, be aware of these things and consider your travel options. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. But this is completely unacceptable. 26% of the FAA workforce has been furloughed. You can't take 26% of the workers and the circumstances of the air traffic controllers and expect the system to work the way it's supposed to, particularly when it's already understaffed. Thanks so much.